What is up, guys? It is AJ from MMA Experts, and we are talking about the fight between Israel Adesanya and Paulo Costa. It is for the UFC Middleweight Championship. Super excited for this matchup. Let's get into it. For Israel Adesanya, you guys obviously, if you've seen him fight, are going to know he's an amazing kickboxer. Very rangy striker who also switches stances really nicely. He's really relaxed and calculated with his strikes, and he moves out of range very well, and his counterpunching skills are excellent. Now, his opponent Paulo Costa, though, no joke at all. Excellent kickboxer in his own right, pressure heavy striker, always moving forward, big power in his punches, and most of his punches are going to be significant strikes. He also cuts off the cage really nicely, and he will dig to the body with massive hooks. This matchup is going to be amazing. I think we're going to see a war between these two guys. For Israel Adesanya, he's fought five high-level opponents. Now, Paulo Costa, in my opinion, has only fought one high-level opponent, being Yoel Romero. Granted, he won that fight in a back-and-forth battle with one of, if not the scariest middleweight of all time. He's jacked, he's strong, and Paulo Costa was able to sit in there, land shots, and take the best shots Yoel Romero had to throw at him. Granted, Israel Adesanya also coming off the win over Yoel Romero, has fought, a mix of high-level guys. But for Israel Adesanya to win, I really feel he must stay calm here. He's going to have to circle away from Costa's rushing flurries of attacks and the constant pressure that Costa brings. Now, Adesanya needs to focus on countering that over-aggression from Paulo Costa and hopefully land some massive shots of his own. Now, he needs to also avoid Paulo Costa's big overhand right. If Paulo Costa throws overhand shots and Israel Adesanya does his usual leaning style and his hand is not glued to his face, he's going to be at risk of getting caught with something very massive. Also, he needs to be very prepared for the heavy body attack of Paulo Costa. Now, if Israel Adesanya was to win this fight, I see it happening definitely after round number 2, going into round 3, maybe even round 4. I could even see it going 5 rounds, but I don't think Paulo Costa is going to have the cardio to go the distance here. Paulo Costa has a different way to win this fight. Adesanya really needs to avoid the brawl and turn it into a technical kickboxing match and gas Paulo Costa out and maybe get a late stoppage or a decision win. But for Paulo Costa, his way to win is going to be pressuring Israel Adesanya. He needs to get Adesanya out of his rhythm. He needs to come in with power punches, especially to the body. From range, Adesanya is obviously going to have the advantage, 80-inch reach to 72. He's also 3 inches taller. And Costa must close the distance. He needs to be inside of that reach. He needs to also rip the body. He's going to need to gas Israel Adesanya out here. And Adesanya, he's a guy that can go 5 rounds, but if you're getting ripped to the body, you're going to be more tired than you normally are. I don't see Paulo Costa being able to go the 5 rounds. I don't think that's his style. I don't think that is even his plan. His best chance is under 3 rounds. I think he's going to come out with massive overhands and body shots. And I do think that he's going to be able to land some really big shots on Israel Adesanya. How I see the actual fight playing out, I think Israel Adesanya is going to land some beautiful counters and Costa will take them and come in with more power and heavy shots of his own. Now, I think that Paulo Costa does land and hurt Adesanya in the first round with shots, and that body attack is going to have Adesanya a bit more fatigued than he's used to. Adesanya, though, will continue to move, and I do believe this fight this fight doesn't end in the first round. It goes into the second. I think that we're going to see Adesanya moving well early in round 2, but Paulo Costa will constantly be pressuring. I think he's landing massive body shots, and he's hurting Israel Adesanya. Lands a big shot, hurts Israel Adesanya, and I think Paulo Costa goes for the stoppage. And if he doesn't get Adesanya out of there with his chaotic flurry that he'll probably go for in the second round, he will be in big trouble and maybe stopped in round number 3 or 4. But I do think he stops Israel Adesanya. I think we see Paulo Costa get a second round TKO or knockout here over Israel Adesanya. It's going to be a ton of pressure, and he needs to be on his A game. Paulo Costa needs to stick with the pressure-heavy game plan. He cannot be moving backwards. Obviously, he's not going to. It's very rare that he would do that. But Israel Adesanya is going to be moving a lot. Cut off the ring. Paulo Costa needs to focus on cutting off the cage. It's going to be a major factor. If he's able to get Israel Adesanya against the cage, and now he's able to rip the body shots, rip the headshots, and trap him, Adesanya is in big trouble. He's not going to be able to use his advantage in the movement, and the speed advantage that he definitely will have, the technique advantage that he definitely will have, and the counter punch advantage. Now, Paulo Costa is going to have that power, that pressure, and that durability advantage. Paulo Costa has taken the best shots that Yoel Romero has had to throw at him, and he ate them. Now, Israel Adesanya did go 5 rounds with Yoel as well. Granted, it was a lot more moving. Paulo Costa and Yoel Romero put on a fight of the night type of performance. I think Paulo Costa wins this fight. I think he does so by second round TKO. I think we're going to have an epic matchup. Now, let me quickly get into the betting odds for you guys. As of right now, general betting lines run around Israel Adesanya at a -170 favorite to a +150 underdog. Now, if you want to make a good bet on Paulo Costa on Pinnacle, he's actually a +163 dog. You might want to put some money down fast on Paulo Costa if you're still interested in doing so, because I believe a lot of people are going to be putting money down on him. Now, there will still be money coming out of Adesanya as the favorite, but I think a lot of people are realizing this is a very scary matchup for the world champion Israel Adesanya, and he is in big trouble of losing for the first time. And I do think Costa gets the victory here in maybe one of the best fights we've seen this year, if not the best fight we've seen this year. I cannot wait for it, guys. It is for the middleweight title. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Also, turn on those post notifications. Follow my social medias, guys. Instagram, Twitter, check them out. They're going to be in the description, and you see them running along the bottom of the screen. I will see you all in the next video. Thank you guys so much.